Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to the anime review. Today we're looking at Persona 5, the animation, episode 4. So, one thing I really liked about this week's episode, we finally see the confidants, which are these characters that are in-game, and what they do is when you go to them, they have various options that you can do with them. Usually they boost either a specific, I want to say like set of stats after you level them up so much, or you can get certain items from them. For example, like they went to the gun model shop where this guy sells like all his military models and stuff like that, but they wanted to get guns there. And there's a purpose to it, there's a reason for it, where in the cognitive world or in the palaces, you know, there's a thing where it becomes cognitive that if you have a gun, even if it's a fake gun, because it's perceived as real in that world, or because you perceive it as real, it becomes that way. You know, one thing I kind of liked about that, it makes sense if you think about it, because, you know, the whole thing about the palaces in general, we learn about them very early on, is that these are places that you feel are like the real embodiments of the world you live in. You know, and for Kamoshida, for example, this was his palace. You know, the school was his everything, and he was the ruler of it, not anyone else. He was the one who was solely in charge of the place, and in many ways that was how it was in the real world too, where he felt like that. He felt like a king. So it kind of makes sense that, you know, if you bring something fake into the world and perceive it as real, it thus becomes real. So it was kind of cool to see that. It was useful when we actually had a sequence where we had to fight Kamoshida as the first boss, because he's like technically the first boss of the game, which is kind of cool. What was very also interesting too was we see the wild card ability for our main character finally, Joker. Now, in case you guys have never played a Persona game or watched, you know, even the anime before Persona 5, which is possible, I know some people out there that have, you know, the wild card is a kind of running theme with every Persona game where the main character is able to embody not just one persona but multiple. So, you know, like all these other characters, you're gonna have, like, for example, Panther and Skull, and I'm going by their names in the thing because it's kind of funny to me, but, you know, those characters can only use one persona. It can get evolved later on as time goes by. That's not really a spoiler per se, but, you know, it's something that happens in the series as it progresses. But, you know, they're only linked to that one, while Joker is able to use all of them. He's able to use, you know, various other persona. You know, the ones the characters have, no, he can't use those because they're not like specific to him. You know, those are for them only. But in terms of, like, you see all the demons stuff, he can use those, and they become his own persona. And you also saw the fusion, which happened between Pixie and, you know, Arsenine. So they fused them together to become that weird, I forget what that thing's called. I should know what it's called, but, you know, they fused together and became a new persona, so you could use that and was able to defeat Kamoshida. I loved how they even used the music for it. I thought that was so good. Like, they did everything pretty damn close to how the game did, which was really awesome. Like, even having one of the team members of the four now split up and then try to get the crown off his head, because that's the treasure. The whole thing about the palaces is that you have to get the treasure to get out, and that also causes the person in the place to realize, oh, I've made a mistake. I've been wrong this whole time, and so it changes their heart. You know, that's why they consider themselves stealing hearts. But I liked this episode. I thought it was very solid. I had no issues with it. The pacing was good. We, you know, saw several confidants, which was really awesome. And then the ending happened, which that struck me very strange. And I don't know if anyone can explain this, but they showed a preview of episode 5, and they showed these, you know, the second boy detective Prince show up. Now, what's weird about the way he showed up was the fact that he shows up with every single Persona user of the Phantom Thieves of Heart in the bar, or not really the bar, but the coffee shop. And I'm very confused by that, because why is that episode 5? I'm very curious what they're gonna do with episode 5 now, because I hope to God they don't speed up so fast that they show every single character being taken, you know, into the group. That'd be a little bit weird. I don't know why that was shown. I don't, like, if someone could understand why that was shown, and you know, that, just tell me if you know why specifically that was done like that. But I have no idea, and it's kind of like scared me a little bit, to be honest with you. So I'm worried about episode 5 now a little bit. But we'll see what happens. Maybe it's just a kind of like thing of just showing, you know, a future thing that could happen in the series, and, you know, that does happen, but it's a really big spoiler even nonetheless. I don't know, it's very strange to me. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. I have 2 other reviews today. Obviously, Darla Franks is not going to be one of them because it is on a recap episode, so I'm not going to do that. I do have, let's see, I have, besides the King's Avatar, which is the OVA series, started up. I'm going to go check that out, and I'm gonna review that probably next 20, 30 minutes around that. And then I also have one other review today, which Devil's Line. I have that coming out too. So I'll see you guys then. God bless you all. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.